All right, today we're going to be working on the importance of downward dog. And downward dog, a lot of people do wrong. They press into their shoulders. They're not realizing that downward dog is an extension of their forward bend. Forward bend can be really simple, and downward dog can be something that everybody can connect to and get stronger with. My students struggled a lot with downward dog at first, and so I think it's important to show how to be able to come into this in variations. So we're going to start on all fours. And I'm going to shift a little bit of my weight back. Now my toes are curled. If you can't curl the toes, you can press back initially. And if you can't curl the toes, you're going to have to probably start in a forward bend, but that's okay. So where you are, curl the toes, shift some of the weight back. Now notice your wrists. And as you notice your wrists, you're noticing that the wrists, or the energy off of the wrists, are pushing away. So the palms are actually pushing away, the arms are straight. I'm going to lift the hips up a little bit, and I'm going to keep my knees bent. And I'm going to push myself away from the mat. The arms stay level with the ears, legs might be bent. If I have the ability, I can bring the tailbone up. I can even walk the feet forward a little bit. Eventually, I can start drawing the navel in, so the navel is lifting up, the shoulders are pulling back, wrapping the shoulders around the back. Maybe the heels are lifted, so it might look like this. Now, for a lot of you are like, I can't do that, that's too hard, but I want you to see that a lot of my energy is off of my wrists. So I can lift my hand up at any time, and I'm not pushing all my energy. If I'm leaning forward, like a lot of people do in their downward dogs, and then I do this, I'm going to fall, or it's going to be really hard on my abdomen to hold myself up. So I want to push myself away, so a majority of my weight is back into my heels. So if you want, you can start into a forward bend. So your forward bend starts standing, and I always start my students' ribs towards thighs. A lot of times people think their forward bend is here with this rounded back, and I don't want to do this because then I'm never going to stretch my hamstrings, and the hamstrings will take a lot longer to eventually ever stretch out. So real good place to start is elbows to knees. Maybe the feet can start a little bit wider, and you can start bringing the ribs closer towards the thighs. You want the ribs and the thighs to connect as much as possible, and that's really important. Eventually, you can walk those elbows down the shins, and I can extend and let the head hang down heavy. Hands might touch, it might not, doesn't matter. Maybe sway a little side to side. We're going to take hands to shins, gaze forward, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, push your bottom back. Now, as you're here, start to walk out. And walk the hands out, and this might be your downward dog to start. You're going to bring your ears so the ears come back towards the arms. Shoulder blades roll and push back away from me, and this might be my downward dog. But I'm going to start to see that as I loosen up, as my hamstrings loosen up, I can take it out a little wider, and I can start to draw back. Now your gaze is really important. I don't want to gaze forward because then I'm rolling the energy forward. So I want to gaze back. I might gaze towards the middle of my mat. I might gaze towards my toes, my ankles, my knees, or even my navel. If you gaze towards your navel, you're still keeping the ears level with the arms. I'm gazing up, I'm hugging, and then I'm going to wrap and push the tailbone back. So I'm drawing energy again into the back of my spine, into the backs of the legs, the backs of the heels, drawing energy away, and at the same time, I'm stretching everything. Now you can rise on the toes if you need to, bend your knees if you need to. You can even take your downward dog a little bit wider. When you're ready, rise up on your toes. You might walk your feet in as close to your hands as you can, and then eventually just take your hands towards your feet. Exhale the head. As you come up, really important. So I can gaze up. If you roll up, you can bring the arms out. And as you roll, take the hands to the knees and pull the rib cage right over the hips, almost like you're making a C shape. So never putting pressure on the back. Reach the arms up, draw the shoulders back, hands to your heart. And so we're going to do that again. We're going to start off in that forward bend. So when I start off in the forward bend, again, elbows to knees, pull your bottom back, Find this neutral spine, and the neutral spine is really important. I'm going to take the chin down. I'm going to let everything hang. Let the head hang down. Let this weight hang down as much as you can. See if you can walk the elbows down. As you walk the elbows down, ribs towards thighs. Keep the ribs connected to the thighs. Hands towards shins, gaze forward, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, sink back down. Walk your hands out. So walk out. Find where you can get this. Press the shoulders back. So the shoulders and the ears align. Maybe root the heels. If the heels lift, let them lift. Listen to your body. Your body will always tell you its natural response. Sometimes we get afraid and we start to panic, and then we come into things that hurt us. So press yourself away. Notice that the shoulder blades are wrapping around, that the arms are strong, the elbows are pushing out, the triceps are wrapping back, the fingers are spread. So I'm giving myself a really wide berth on my hands here. If you're able, inner thighs can even roll and wrap around so the hips open up a little bit more. Press through, draw the navel in, find your gaze point. So your drishti is your focused point of gaze. Again, that might be middle of the mat, might be towards the toes, the calves, the knees, the navel, and I'm pushing the ground away. I keep this active pushing back. So I'm pushing all the energy into the back of my spine. Stay here for a few breaths, using Ujjayi breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Nice, soft, resonating sound. When you're ready, you can rise on your toes, gaze between your thumbs, start to walk it forward. And walk forward as far as you can. See yourself walking the whole way forward. When you can't get any further, exhale, take the head down, soften through the knees. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, lower down. And again, if you want to roll up, take the hands towards the knees. C-shape the body so the ribs come right over the hips. Roll yourself up. Bring your arms up. Draw the shoulders back. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right. So that was your downward dog breakdown. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. I'm going to come out with more videos how to break down, make these poses possible in your body. Until then, keep trying. See yourself doing what you can't do today, and you will attain it tomorrow. Namaste.